Okay, let's be real. We've all seen tech just show up in classrooms. But is it actually a tool, or is it just a really expensive toy? That's what we're getting into today. We're going to look at how the best teachers cut through all that hype and build lessons where technology actually works. So yeah, let's dive in.
I mean, this is the big question, right? Is all this tech in school just one giant distraction? You know the feeling. A brand new app, a shiny new set of tablets gets rolled out, and you're left wondering, okay, but is this actually going to help my students learn, or is it just another thing to manage that pulls focus from what really matters? And look, that's a totally fair question. We've all seen tech thrown at a problem without any real plan.
But what if we flipped that on its head? What if technology wasn't the starting point, but maybe the final piece of the puzzle? Imagine if it could take great teaching and just amplify it, make it even better, instead of trying to replace it. Well, that's exactly what we're going to see. We're going to explore how a bit of smart, thoughtful design can turn that potential distraction into something students will never forget.
Okay, so to make this super practical, let's look at a real-world example. Meet Amira. She's an 8th grade science teacher, and her goal is pretty ambitious. She doesn't want her students to just, memorize a bunch of facts about ecosystems for a test. No way. She wants them to get it, to really understand how delicate that balance is, and she wants them to figure it out by working together and asking questions.
So what does she do? A lecture? A worksheet? Nope. She creates a game, a digital escape room. She puts your students into teams and gives them this epic mission. They've got to work together, use what they know about science, and solve all these puzzles to save a virtual ecosystem from totally collapsing. It's a challenge they actually want to take on. How cool is that?
And this is the most important part. That excitement, that engagement, it didn't just happen by accident. Amira didn't just find some cool app and try to wedge a lesson into it. That's the classic mistake, right? Instead, this whole game was built on a really intentional framework, a plan that put her learning goals first, right at the very center. And that is what transformed a fun little activity into some seriously powerful learning.
So, what's the secret sauce here? What's the playbook for creating these kinds of awesome lessons? Well, I'll tell you what it's not about. It's not about chasing the newest, fanciest piece of tech. It's about having a model in your head, a kind of guide for making smart choices. And this playbook? It actually has a name.
It's called TPACK. Yeah, it's an acronym, but stick with me. It stands for Technological, Pedagogical, and Content Knowledge. The easiest way to think about it is like a blueprint for teachers. It helps tackle that classic problem we've all seen. You get a new tool, but now what? How do you make it actually useful for learning? TPACK is the framework that makes sure the technology is serving the lesson, not the other way around.
So let's break that down. It's really simple. You've got 3 core pieces. First is your content. That's the what you're teaching. For Amira, that was ecosystems. Easy enough. Next is pedagogy. That's the how you teach. She wanted students to investigate and work together. And only then, after you've figured out the what and the how, do you bring in the technology. That's the tool that makes it all happen. For her, it was the digital escape room. And here's the thing. These 3 aren't just separate boxes you check. The real magic, the big aha moment, happens where they all overlap. It's that sweet spot where the perfect tool elevates your teaching style and helps your students understand the content on a much deeper level. That's the goal. Okay, so to show you just how flexible this whole TPACK thing is, let's check out a completely different teacher. This is Daniel. He teaches English, and he wants his students to get really smart about how they use digital tools, especially with AI being everywhere now. Now, Daniel could have just let his students do the obvious thing, right? Hey, ChatGPT, write a summary for me. That's passive. But his teaching goal, his pedagogy, was all about critical thinking. So he does something brilliant. He turns the AI into a kind of thinking partner. The students use AI to generate a summary, sure, but that's just step 1. The real assignment is to then tear that summary apart. Is it biased? Is it accurate? What's the tone? That's the real work.
And when you look at them side by side, you can really see how powerful this framework is. For Amira, you have science, collaboration, and a digital escape room. For Daniel, you have English, critical thinking, and an AI tool. Totally different subjects, totally different tools, but the exact same underlying framework. It leads to 2 incredibly powerful, totally unique lessons that are a perfect fit for what they're trying to teach.
Okay, so we've seen these 2 awesome examples. What's the big takeaway here? If you're a teacher trying to navigate all this stuff, what's the one golden rule that cuts through all the noise and the hype about new tech? It's this, right here. It's so simple. Pedagogy and content come first, always. You have to start by asking, what do my students need to learn? And what's the best way for them to learn it? Figure that out first. And only then do you ask, okay, is there a piece of technology that could make this even better? The tech has to serve the purpose. It can't be the purpose. You know, this is more than just a framework. It's really a mindset shift. And look, let's be honest, it's not always easy. Finding that perfect sweet spot between the what, the how, and the tool, that takes some thought. It takes some planning, maybe a little trial and error. But just making that mental shift, focusing on the learning experience first, not the shiny new gadget, that's everything. That's the most critical step. So the real question is, what amazing learning experience are you going to create?